Shut up, Smarks. Ring Ross Redux. No, I won't tap out. I won't tap out. All of you buzzards suck. Just stop watching Raw. Stop watching Raw. WWE Payback, which was this past Sunday on the WWE Network. And they still stuck with the 8 matches, right? Yep. So the preliminary match they had saw Can't Teach That, Enzo Amore and Big Cass taking on Bulletproof, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. If you've been a long-time listener, you know that I enjoy naming tag teams. So that's part of the process. So you can suck it up, Buttercup, or you can go listen to some other show. Don't go listen to some other show. So, not much to talk about there. Enzo pinned Gallows with a roll-up, because roll-ups is something that happens in the 21st century in wrestling. That's what happened at events like WrestleMania 5. Not necessarily something in 2017, but it happened, so, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. So, I did predict it the other way. I can see why, I suppose, they would have won, I guess, but, you know, I'm not complaining. Unfortunately, I didn't see the pre-show, I didn't see the kickoff, because the website I used to watch it refused to allow the kickoff to be available for download or streaming, so I ended up not watching it. I watched the entire rest of the show, but anyway, so maybe Big Cass and Enzo got one word to describe the person who put up that particular video. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. So the next match, which is the first match of the official pay-per-view, Payback, from this past Sunday on the WWE Network, live from the SAP Center in San Jose, California, which was Bayley's hometown, which will come up later in the women's title match. So, but for right now, it's the U.S. title match, which saw SmackDown's Kevin Owens defending his United States Championship against Raw's Chris Jericho in the first of 2 interpromotional matches. Owens attempted a pop-up powerbomb on Jericho, who countered into a Hurricane Rana. Chris then applied walls of Jericho on Owens, who touched the ropes with only one finger to break the hold. After Kevin failed to execute a pop-up powerbomb on Jericho again, Y2J forced Owens to submit to the walls of Jericho to win the title. As a result of the win, the King of My World was transferred to the SmackDown brand. And of course, anyone who's since seen Raw and SmackDown knows what ultimately came from that, so. But hey, you know, he's still the Commandant of Cool to me. He's still the Ayatollah of Know Your Rolla. You are listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. This is, oh God. If I can have your attention, please. I just received an email from the ridiculous Ring Rust general manager. Most people use Twitter nowadays, you know. Aren't you forgetting something about the pay-per-view results that you usually do? Oh, yes, how I predicted them. Okay, so the last match, which was the U.S. title match, I predicted it was probably, laughingly predicted, I should say, was going to be the main event, because that's how it was presented on the Wikipedia page. But anyway, I wasn't really disappointed in that. Wasn't even disappointed in the fact that Kevin Owens did not defend his title, which I predicted he would. But Chris Jericho won the match. I predicted Kevin Owens would, but it was an enjoyable match anyway, and it was a hell of a way to start a show. Be a hell of a way to end a show too, but c'est la vie. So, did I miss anything else, or was that it? Yeah, I think that was it. I think I've covered it all now. Thanks for, in actuality, kind of saving me from myself there, I guess. And don't ask me whether or not I queued up a different song just to make that joke work. This is Cyborg Mark Gibroni. You are listening to Ring Rust on 3.5 CHMR FM. So, next up, we have Neville defending his WWE Cruiserweight Championship against Austin Aries. And in the climax, as AEW applied the last chancery onto the champ, the guy that Gravity forgot pulled the referee by his shirt, as opposed to got your nose, but with a British accent. The referee then disqualified Neville, resulting in Aries winning the match, but not the title. I did speculate that that would probably be a way that it would work. Like, I could see Neville doing something along those lines. So I did predict last week that Austin Aries would win the match, but probably not the title, which means it just sets up for another title match down the road at the next pay-per-view or on 205 Live, or they'll feud on 205 Live until the next pay-per-view, certainly. Maybe the next major pay-per-view? I don't know. We'll see. Until then, we'll just have to let Neville enjoy hanging onto his belt for another little while and see if he can continue successfully defending it. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbranology TV. So next up, we have a match that I think I called properly. Did I? Just scroll down. There we go. Yes, I did. I did predict this one properly. The Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt Hardy, defended the Raw Tag Team Championships against International Powers, which is Sheamus and Cesaro. The end came when Jeff performed a Swanton Bomb on Sheamus, who was pinning Matt, and unaware that Jeff was the legal man. The rainbow-haired warrior then pinned the Old Lock to retain the titles. After the match, the two teams shook hands. However, spontaneously sprouting handlebar mustaches, just as Jeff and Matt were celebrating, Cesaro and Sheamus returned to the ring and just beat him down. Just poof, I'm gonna beat you. We're gonna beat you up because we're bad guys now. And pardon me while we put on our bowler hats at a jaunty angle, because we're scrappers and we're gonna beat you up and we're bad guys and stuff. So yeah, I didn't predict that part, but I did predict that the Hardy Boys would defend their titles. So whether it could have also gone to a disqualification. Who knows what it would have done. So at any rate, come hell or high water, they'll get those titles back again, I guess. So we'll see if the change of attitude is going to do well for International Powers. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Gerbranology TV.
Seek and ye shall find, or I'll flick your ear. Mine's bigger than yours, ha-ha. Oh, that's gotta sting.
Yeah, well, two can blow bubbles in this bathtub.
You're listening to wrestling superstar, the Triple X Sex Express Sex Yeti, and you're listening to Ring Rust, the one and only wrestling talk radio show.
Well, I don't just have the good jokes. This is what happens when I'm left unattended. So next up, from WWE Payback from this past Sunday on the WWE Network from the SAP Center in San Jose, California, the aforementioned hometown girl Bayley defended her Raw Women's Championship against Alexa Bliss. The match ended after the 5 Feet of Bliss performed a snap DDT on My Secret Girlfriend to win her first Raw Women's Championship and become the first woman to win both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships. She still hasn't got Mickie James or Gail Kim beat yet, but, well, we'll see how that goes for women who have won multiple iterations of a particular title. Not that the TNA women's title is an iteration of any WWE title, but it's a women's title, so. And also, Mickie James is, I think, a Divas champion as well as a women's champion, the original women's championship when it was on both brands. So, we'll see how all that works out. Maybe, she'll just turn around and say, well, I don't think any other belts are important anyway, and then just walk away all spiteful.
This is a great catch guitar Slamming Wrestling News Radio on Ring Rust, CHMR
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.
Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jarbronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. Time for this week's Macho Fact. Randy Savage's beard once parted the Red Sea. And the Macho Man can get a word in edgewise. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jarbronology TV. This is Fanboy Mark Jabroni. You're listening to Ring Rust. Oh, God. Twice in one show. If I can have your attention, please. I just received an email from the ridiculous Ring Rust General Manager. The results get a little bit sticky at this point. Yeah, I kind of noticed that. So, thanks for... Okay, well, since you have some concern over my ability to perform adequately for this task, I'll leave it up to the magic smart ball that I got from ProWrestlingCrate.com last year sometime. I don't remember. I never wrote down the date of it when I got it. So, should I read the following parts of the payback results in the order that they happened? Or in the order that sort of like the thing happens before some other match and then but leads into another match? Or should I just leave that part off altogether? Yeah, there you go. Let's see if I leave that part off altogether. Or will I mention that and potentially confuse everybody? So I guess I'm asking, it's a yes or no question I need to ask. Should I leave off the next little bit and then go right into the next match? Yes or no? Flip to Nitro. Okay. Let's try that again, see if I can get something akin to a yes or no answer. Complain online. Okay, I'm just gonna go. SmackDown's WWE Champion Randy Orton faced Raw's Bray Wyatt in a House of Horrors non-title match in the second of two interbrand title matches. The match was a no-holds-barred match type that began in the House of Horrors, but could only be won by pinning or making the opponent submit in the ring at the arena, or by forfeit. The match began when Orton broke into the house and Wyatt attacked him. Randy and Bray fought throughout the house and into the kitchen, where Wyatt pushed the refrigerator onto the Viper. The Eater of Worlds then stole Orton's limousine and drove to the arena. And you'd think that might be where the match would continue, but no, hold on a second. No, we go right to the next match while we're waiting for Wyatt and Orton, theoretically, to arrive. Seth Rollins faced Samoa Joe in the next match. Joe applied a coquina clutch on Seth, who countered into a roll-up for the win. That's two roll-ups in one show. Interesting. Well, technically the first one was in the pre-show, I guess, so... Anyway, yeah, that's ending Joe's undefeated streak since debuting in the main roster in January 2017, which wasn't really much of a winning streak, I guess. Anyway, and then usually they do something where, oh, well, he's unpinned in tag matches, or he's, undefeated in singles matches on pay-per-view, or something along those lines. But no, they just went straight to it. He's now no longer undefeated, so... Yeah, okay, I guess he's in line for the world title now, because he's no longer undefeated. I don't know.
Yes! Yes! Mind-taking! Stick with the kid, baby! You there!
What's your story?
I'm Ernie Devlin, and I don't question it.
Oh, I like that. Don't budge. I'm taking your mind. Mind encryption, perhaps? Zombie guards, seize him! Tell me that's not fun to say.
Hey, what's up? This is referee Tony S, and you're listening to Ring Rust on CHMR.
Because I was just talking about Seth Rollins. No, not Seth Rollins, man. By the way, I didn't predict that one properly, I don't think. Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, yes, I did predict that Samoa Joe was gonna win that one. So it was, in fact, the hype, which, of course, you shouldn't believe. You're listening to Ring Rust Redux on Jabronology TV. Of course, Bray Wyatt eventually had to arrive in the arena and did his normal entrance. As the lights came on, Randy Orton appeared behind Wyatt and attacked him. SmackDown's Singh brothers, formerly known as the Bollywood Boys, Sunil and Samir Singh, then appeared and attacked Orton, who fought them off. Randy performed an RKO on Bray, but the WWE Championship #1 contender Jinder Mahal attacked Orton with the title belt that he had stolen from Orton on the previous episode of SmackDown. The Eater of Worlds then performed Sister Abigail on Orton to win the match. And, yeah. Like me on Facebook, tinyurl.com/ringrust. Follow me on Twitter @MarkJabroni. And subscribe to Jabronology TV, youtube.com/fanboymarkjabroni. As the main event, Roman Reigns faced Braun Strowman. And, well, it was a Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman match, so I guess there's really not a whole lot to talk about. I did predict Braun Strowman to win that match, and that's in fact what happened. And he stood triumphant over Roman Reigns as well after the match, and even after the pay-per-view. He chased him out and beat him up a little bit more, and, well, there you go. So, yeah, it was a Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman match. As interesting as they can possibly be, I guess. That's it for another show, kiddies. Check me out on Facebook, where you can keep track of all the news that's right on the mark, from around ringside to the latest concerts. See you at the shows. Later days.
This is 93.5 CHMR FM.